Hello, this is Cheryl Buckwalter, and thank you for viewing the new California landscape with me. The theme for this landscape is right as rain, and what could be more eco-friendly than the on-site capture and use of water from irrigation and storm events? This landscape includes a variety of permeable materials and elements to help us achieve just that. A number of walkways, as you can see here, provide easy access throughout the entire landscape, going all the way around the landscape. And this plant palette provides year-round color. So let's get started, and let's start in the front yard with the rain garden. Here is a rain garden, and what happens is we have downspouts that carry water from the roof into the gutters, out the downspouts, into the dry creek bed that then lets that water flow into this rain garden. The soil that is taken from the rain garden, this depression that's in the ground, has been used in this area to create a mound. And as you can see, it flows all the way across the front of the yard here. And that low mounding helps to keep even more water on site. This mound in the rain garden is then surrounded by this beautiful evergreen bunching type of grass or clumping grass, and it's called a gray sedge, and it adds beautiful color throughout the landscape and throughout the year. Wonderful movement and flow. Over here, this tree is called a geyera. It is an Australian willow. And everybody loves the graceful weeping of weeping willows, but they require a lot of water. And the Australian willow is a moderate water use tree, as these other plants throughout the front yard, they are moderate water use plants. What's important about that? It's a term called hydrozoning. And so what we do is we select plants and group them according to their water use requirements as well as their sun or solar requirements. And so we've grouped all these plants together so they can be irrigated efficiently. There's a plant right over here. This is called a catmint, and I love this plant because it loves the heat that this front yard and the corner exposure offers, and it just blooms its little heart out all summer long with these beautiful blue flowers and gray-green leaves that are kind of have a nice little soft texture to them. So as we move up and we walk toward our front porch, both the porch as well as this walkway have been created with permeable type materials so that the water can soak in and around these pavers and soak into the ground. We've also got pavers for this walkway that are the same as this walkway because it's important to use similar colors, similar materials, and not too much of a variety in what's called our hardscape. Plants are called softscape, and materials that go on the ground like this are called hardscape. And so this pathway takes us jumping over the dry creek bed by stepping on this nice big flat stone, and then we can walk over here to this side access. But let's come back. We're going to go back across, enter the porch, go along the side of the landscape where we can see plants have been selected so that they can grow to their mature size naturally, like this Callistemon viminalis Little John. It's a Little John bottle brush, and the flowers look just like a bottle brush. And they're wonderful because they only get about 3 feet tall and wide, and they just are a nice compact and neat form that require little if any pruning. And that's a very important principle, is to select and place plants that are appropriate for our region and our area, such as the plants in this plant palette. California natives, Mediterranean type plants that enjoy our climate. Here we have some Hesperalo, which is called a red yucca, Also with some succulents, which have become more and more popular. And you can see they're dappled throughout the landscape here to bring in some continuity and repetition into the landscape. I love this plant right here. It's called a coprosma, a mirror plant. It's low growing. The little leaves are very, very shiny, and they mirror-like basically. And then here we can have some nice shade from the afternoon sun with this overhead structure and a nice sitting area to gather. Here's a little walkway that now leads us out to a functional size lawn. Because it's okay to have lawn, let's just make sure that it's the size that we would actually use. And what's even better about this, as you can see, it's called mow-free lawn. It can be mowed once or twice a year, but it's really not necessary to do that. But it is a clumping and flowing type of lawn that is just beautiful. Surrounding and giving a backdrop to this landscape is the little olive tree or shrub, and it gets only between 6 and 8 feet tall and wide, very neat. It's essentially fruitless, so it's nice and tidy, and it has a silvery gray-green leaves that just provide a wonderful backdrop throughout the year. And as we come around here, we have a service walkway, meaning we're just going to use this for our recycling, accessing the back and so forth. And we're brought all the way back around to this wonderful and lush front yard and rain garden. So that is the new California landscape, right as rain. Thank you. My name is Cheryl Buckwalter,